I'm back again. I know my video cut out a few minutes ago, as I said, but I'm back again with the rest of it. I just want to show you this pretty garden arch. Now this gate was here when we bought the farm. I put in the 2 beds of flowers, and the arch has been with me for a long time. And we just had some beautiful honeysuckle that grew over the top beautifully. So I'm very pleased with that. And I've got a lot of stuff I need to really work on next year, getting more the right fertilizer on. Doing everything organic. Of course, this is just Osmocote. I have a lot of new bulbs in here that just didn't do too good. And then I had some cats that helped me displace some of them. So I'll work on that. The orange glory is great for butterflies. And this butterfly bush, all this stuff is very young. This white strip that you see was one of those rollout gardens I got as a gift. And that's fun. I'm kind of watching some interesting little flowers come up there. And anyway, let's get back to where we were when the video cut out. Coming back into gate. And I'll try not to wave my finger around so much when I'm pointing things out. I noticed that in the first part of the video. I was a little silly with that. So I'll try to be mindful of that. You can see this is my first video. Anyway, getting back here, I think we were talking about my medicinal garden that I just love. And I've got hyssop, and of course that didn't do too well, but we're going to work on getting some of these things to do better. Some of the things that didn't germinate at all, and again I suspect that the actual potting mix that I used in the beds was too light to germinate some seeds, was horehound, which is very good with coughs and things like that when you make it to a medicine. And I didn't get good action on my bone set of valerian or angelica, which they also call archangel. And there's a few other things that didn't quite make it. Like I said, the cow's lip and the German chamomile. German chamomile is germinating for me really well in pots, but I think it was my soil that I had the problem with. So again, I'm going to be adding more different kinds of soil, probably organic garden soil, and some more manure. And okay, what I wanted to show you was the new greenhouse. This is wonderful. It's, as you can see, a barn style, and we chose this one because we had a lot of the materials for it, wood and the plastic above there, from the old greenhouse that we started, which I'll pan over, was over there, and now it's completely gone and everything's grassed over. This has just been a wonderful size and a wonderful design greenhouse. Of course, we need to finish it up. It needs some corner trim and some other things. We'll have to seal it, and we need to put some venting windows in the very back. I'll be putting shelves and things like that, but I need my potting shed set up desperately because of all my plastics and which I need to pull out of there when the heat starts again. Anyway, we've got this big brown thing here is for rain collection once I get that started. This little seat has been a lifesaver when I have to work on the bed so my knees and my back don't kill me. Everybody should have one of these. They're awesome. And just regular trash can, pots and bottles, and everybody else has too. So, but this is a wonderful greenhouse. I can't wait to finish it up. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful this winter. I'm gonna walk over here and show you my biggest disappointment on the farm. And this is the gate to this area. We'll pull this out. But we tried to till up this area in the spring for corn and some melons and things like that. It did not work very well. As you can see, it is being choked with weeds. I've almost given up on having any kind of a good harvest because of the weeds. I've got to get in here, wet it down real good, and pull these things out. But weeds have just been vicious this year. I've got some mammoth sunflowers in the very back, and they're doing okay, and some of the corn is doing all right. Remember, all this is organic, and it makes it very difficult sometimes to get the results that I've been used to in the past with chemical gardening. Now, We're going to go down here, and these messy things, believe it or not, the weeds have just been insane. I have weeded this thing so often I can't tell you, and then now look at it after we mowed. But these 2 rows are strawberries, and they only did okay. I made a couple of very serious mistakes. I bought some sort of strawberry at the store that has pink flowers. I think it's called Tristan. And I'm sorry, but it's not for this type of strawberry growing. I want something with runners. I want the old-fashioned kind with the white flowers that put out real berries. I don't like the Tristans. I think they must be modified, genetically modified or something. And I'll be pulling them out. I may be putting them in pots. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I do have to totally redo these 2 strawberry rows. They're 2 40-foot rows of strawberries. Some of them, about half of the strawberries in there are good. They're putting out runners. They're just young. And I will have to weed it again. It's not really as messy as it looks in the film. There's a lot of straw that kind of encourages those weeds to fall over onto the straw. This is my our row, I should say, of blueberries, and it did really, really well. I harvest blueberries night and morning, and as you can see, it's ready for another harvest right now, even though I harvested this morning. And let me see if I can get right down here on it. But the little blueberries coming right out. And we've got a 40-foot row of those. I guess I've got, what, 8 plants in there, doing really well. This is not really the best time to film all the berry patch because of all the weeds that have suddenly shot up. But normally I take a little bit better care of it than this. Things have gotten ahead of me. This time of year, the grass and the weeds are just crazy. This is red raspberry, and I will harvest this one. I can't tell you how many pints I've got pulled out of that this year. And here's one right here, as you can see. I'll just go ahead and pull that one off. And sometimes we just pick our breakfast right from the garden. But most of these have been all harvested out. And I'm having some trouble with Japanese beetles. We had a lot of trouble with them last year when the farm was new. Oh, look at these blueberries. They're just so gorgeous. Yum, yum. Anyway, I've been using bag-o-bugs, which I think actually bring more bugs into the area. It's very hard. I've been spraying with neem oil, which hasn't done a very good job. Maybe I'm not using the right mixture. I'll try something a little stronger. These are blackberries. The red berries just haven't turned black yet. These are thornless blackberries, and these guys get really big, like this. Look at this. Look at the size of these. Look at this. Yummy, huh? Just gonna pull him off and eat him right here. Most of these, again, have been harvested out. There's some more right up under here. But I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna show you the chickens real quick. We got some grapes going in here. Some white grapes and some Concord grapes. They all have little grape sets on them. Doing really good. These are the chickens! This is my little chicken setup. And we'll come in there and talk to the chickens in a second. This is also the orchard area. We've had 3 tree failures. One tree got fire blight, and I had to trim a lot of the back. And if you guessed it's the gala tree, you're right. So let me just put the little chain back on the gate here. And this is called just a little quick farm fence. We need to put maybe a string of wire up here of some sort. This is Yellow Delicious, and we have about 18 trees in the orchard. They're all doing pretty good. They're very young. It's their first year. We had one dismal failure here, and I can't figure it out. This was a sudden death of this tree. It's a Santa Rosa plum, which is one of the best for the area. It was doing beautiful, it was full of blooms. Consequently, it started to put out some fruit, and then it like died within 24, 48 hours. I don't know what happened. I've been watching the base of the trees with the chickens to make sure that they're not digging too much, you know, just light scratching. Anything more, I either put more soil on or a cage around the tree. This was a sudden death, and I'm not quite sure why. Everything else seems to be doing really good. I've got Kiefer and Bradford pears. I've got a Granny Smith. I've got about 8 varieties of apple in here. Jonna Gold, Yellow Delicious, Red Delicious, Gala, Macintosh, Black Arkansas. What is this? Wine sap. Look at the fruit on the wine sap. Remember, this tree's I've only had a year. No, less than a year. We planted it last fall. I have my favorite apple are the Pink Ladies, and I have 2 of those. And 2 peaches. And I had 2 cherries that were my other 2 dismal failures. I don't know why they failed to leaf out. If somebody can tell me why that happens. Somebody said it can be the result of planting trauma, but we were very careful with everything, and it may have happened at the nursery before I even got the plant. I don't know, but my Bing and my North Star bit the dust. They are still supple, which is strange because they're, you know, bendable, but they just didn't leaf out. I don't know. I think we might pull them out. These are the chickens! We call it the Chicken Little Lounge and Nightclub, open 24 hours. Pretty silly, I know. And here's my little shade area for the chickens. And Ken says that looks ghetto. We can do better. I'm thinking free. So I propped open the nest boxes just to let it air out a little bit because it is kind of nasty. I'm not going to show you the inside, but it does need to be cleaned out. And there's a couple of chickens taking their dust bath right here. Oh, they're buried deep in their little dust bath. And this is the little pool I was telling you about. I put a whole bag of peat moss. Hello, girls. Whole bag of peat moss in there, along with some diatomaceous earth, and they love it. Absolutely love it. They love to go along this fence line, get up under the bushes, and eat bugs. There's a little bit left over of a watermelon they had yesterday. I got to pull that rind out. But these are the girls. We have 6 of the red production chickens, and they are actually mixed Rhodies with Rhode Island Reds with Leghorns, I believe. The 2 white ones are the Leghorns. And the 2 white ones I call Thelma and Louise. They're escape artists. And we're in the middle of trying to clip wings. See if that doesn't work. We caught Thelma and clipped her right wing. And you just clip so many feathers, the flight feathers. I know we haven't caught Louise yet. We need to try to do that later today. I just have some sticks here I piled up for a shelter for the chickens during the heat. And they love this little shelter in here. Let's see if we can't look at it. Maybe TMI, I don't know. But there's a little chicken under there. Buck, buck, buck. Can you come here? And they said, nope, we're mad at you because you chased us and tried to catch us. Actually, it was fun watching Ken try to chase them and catch them. I think that one, I hope that one has dirt on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that dark stuff's dirt. But these are the bucks. Hey, bucks. Hey, buck. See, I speak their language. I try to. Not really. But hopefully these guys will be giving me some eggs in the middle of August. They're still teenagers. Okay, well, this is the farm looking up from the orchard. And I'm going to go out into the field so you can see what small area that we've planted really is compared to the big farm. But there's the house. You can see up there, and that's the back. There's the RV. You go along that way, and I'm going to have the machine shed down there. And then there's about 4 acres of pasture beyond that, and the barns. You can see the barn quit a little bit better here. Let me see if I can actually zoom it. Nope, can't zoom it. Okay. I know there's, I'm so camera challenged. I'll get better at this. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off now. just wanted to give you an update on the farm because I am way behind with pictures and everything else. And we're gonna close the video. Just let you know everything's well out here. Bye bye.